Welcome to the Advanced Design Public Touchpoint for the Old Wake Forest Road Widening Project. The design map and additional details is available for review on the project website. The design consultant for Old Wake Forest Road project is Weatherall Engineering. The improvements extend along Dixie Forest Road and Old Wake Forest Road from Spring Forest Road to Capitol Boulevard. The north side of the road is primarily commercial, with some residential subdivisions and Millbrook High School located on the west end of the corridor. The south side of the road is a mix of retail and industrial space. Old Wake Forest Road is currently an undivided road with one lane of travel in each direction and a posted speed limit of 45 miles per hour. There are turn lanes between the Shadowland Crossing and Oak Forest Drive intersection and the Martinsburg Street and Mattery Oaks Court intersection. There are 3 signalized intersections along the corridor at Atlantic Avenue and Litchford Road, Shadowland Crossing, and Oak Forest Drive. All 3 intersections have dedicated left turn lanes. Additionally, the corridor has signalized intersections at Capitol Boulevard. Both sides of the road have some sidewalk. However, large portions of the roads do not have pedestrian facilities on either side. The purpose of the project is to improve the mobility and safety of all users along the corridor. The roadway improvements are being considered to primarily address the vehicle congestion throughout the corridor and the inconsistent pedestrian facilities. As with other Raleigh roadway improvement projects, we will also be adding facilities for cyclists. Several challenges were identified along the project corridor that shaped the design for our improvements. The slope adjacent to the existing roadway is severe in several locations, specifically on either side of the bridge crossing the railroad tracks, where a slope stabilization system is proposed as part of the project. Additionally, this project will have multiple retaining walls, allowing us to widen the road without impacting buildings along the corridor. The bridge crossing the railroad tracks challenged the design team to meet the needs of multiple users. Additional length of the bridge span to accommodate railroad traffic below the bridge causes an increase in the roadway elevation. There is a potential vertical curvature concern at this location that could impair motorist visibility if the roadway elevation is significantly raised. The design team is tasked with optimizing the bridge design to meet both the railroad and the motorist needs. The alignment of the intersection at Atlantic Avenue and Litchford Road has a significant skew. This skew attributes to the high number of crashes present at the intersection. During design, options were explored to remove the skew and create a perpendicular intersection. Due to the impacts to adjacent property, these options were not considered. However, the skew of the intersection was reduced to the extent possible to improve safety through the intersection. Additionally, a dedicated right turn lane onto Litchford Road will improve the flow for through and left turning movements. The typical roadway section is shown on this slide and is looking to the east. The section will have 4 11-foot wide lanes of travel. Additionally, curb and gutter will be installed on both sides of the road. A grass median will be installed to accommodate left turn lanes in several locations along the corridor. A 12-foot wide multi-use path will be located on the north side to accommodate cyclists and pedestrians. The multi-use path is designed to accommodate bicycle and pedestrian traffic in both directions. We will also install an 8-foot wide sidewalk on the south side of the corridor. The corridor will have a landscaped median installed with left turn lanes at specific locations. This will reduce the need for drivers to make left turns within the travel lane, which causes excess rear-end collisions. A dedicated left turn lane will allow drivers to safely make left turns or U-turns at a few locations, allowing through traffic to flow more freely and provide a safer corridor for vehicles, pedestrians, and cyclists. The median will also restrict left turns on Old Wake Forest Road at some locations, where it is currently allowed. This is a safety feature and will help to reduce the number of broadside accidents that can be caused by vehicles turning left across several travel lanes. We understand that restricting left turns where people have historically been able to make left turns can be upsetting to residents, and that travel times may increase for those living along the corridor. But several studies within the state and around the country show a large reduction in accidents and fatalities after installing a median. As can be seen by the data on this slide, the median will increase safety for all users of the road. Where feasible, U-turns will be allowed for those that need access to their side of the road. The landscape design for Old Wake Forest is planned for low maintenance and sustainability. Primarily, the design is focused on planting vegetation that will be appealing and comfortable for bicycle and pedestrian traffic, while still allowing clear visibility for all users. The plant palette includes materials appropriate for the climate and conditions of Old Wake Forest Road and includes flowering trees and shade trees. Grass was used extensively in the median to provide clear views and for ease of maintenance. In addition to the previously mentioned roadway, sidewalk, and multi-use path improvements, we will be installing a traffic signal at the intersection of Sumner Boulevard and Barrow Drive. This will ease the congestion at Sumner Boulevard during the morning and evening peak traffic hours. The signal will also allow for another location for pedestrians and cyclists to cross the road. Additionally, all signalized intersections along the corridor will be equipped with high visibility crosswalks to alert drivers to the presence of pedestrians and bicycle traffic. As part of our roadway improvement project, we will be installing concrete pads for bus stops at 6 locations, 3 on each side of the road, spread out evenly along the corridor. We have held 2 previous public touch points to review earlier designs and have listened to your feedback. The feedback can generally be placed into 3 buckets. One of the previous concerns was the lack of mid-block crossing on Dixie Forest to accommodate students coming and going from Millbrook High School. The crossing has been added to the design with signage and high visibility striping. Users of the corridor commented on the lack of dedicated right turn lane from Old Wake Forest Road onto Litchford Road. The design team reviewed the request and has implemented the design right turn lane to ease the logjam at the intersection during peak hours. When presenting the project to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission, BPAC, many members of the council expressed concern over the use of bicycle lanes instead of separated facility. These concerns were raised for the safety of the cyclists and the reduction of the roadway. A 2-way, 12-foot wide multi-use path has been added to the north side of the corridor to address these concerns. We are currently at the Advanced Design Public Touchpoint. The schedule to this point has had delays due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the additional requirements to utilize federal funding. We anticipate having real estate agents reach out to property owners in the coming weeks to discuss easement acquisitions. Assuming no additional impacts to the schedule, we anticipate construction starting towards the end of the year and completing in early 2024. The City Council will be receiving an update on this project in mid-February. At the conclusion of that presentation, City Council will be asked to authorize the project for condemnation, consistent with the project delivery process enhancements approved by City Council in November 2020. Additionally, this action will set a no earlier than date for potential condemnation lawsuits, establishing a defined period of negotiation between the property owners and city staff and representatives. The goal of this process change is to establish consistency throughout the negotiation process and provide a more uninterrupted time for negotiation between property owners and city staff and representatives. Thank you for your interest in the Old Wake Forest Road and Dixie Forest Road widening project and viewing this presentation. If you have questions on the design or impacts to your property, please contact the project manager at the phone number and email shown on this slide. We appreciate the feedback that has been provided at previous public touchpoints and, where feasible, have modified the design to address these concerns. We want to know what you think of the proposed improvements. Please take a moment to fill out the brief survey at the link below this presentation. Once again, thank you for viewing the presentation.